Welcome back to the 9 News Business Buzz. I'm Ryan Frazier, 9 News business expert. If you follow commercial real estate, you know that urban districts across the United States are currently facing massive headwinds, battling empty office buildings and retail closures. But right here in Colorado, the Cherry Creek district is seeing the exact opposite. They're experiencing record low vacancies, a massive development pipeline, and generating a staggering amount of tax revenue for the city. To discuss how Cherry Creek has built a blueprint for urban success, I'm joined by Nick LeMasters, President and CEO of Cherry Creek North Business Improvement District and the Cherry Creek Alliance. Nick, welcome back on the program.
Glad to be with you.
Always good to talk about what's happening in Cherry Creek, Nick. I want to start off with the bottom line for the city. Your new State of the Cherry Creek report shows that the district contributed over $119 million in tax revenue for Denver in 2025. How vital is the economic health of Cherry Creek to funding the broader services and infrastructure for all of Denver?
Ryan, I can tell you that we've learned that the Cherry Creek District has now become one of the most important centers of commerce in the entire state. There's no question how important it is, whether it's property tax being driven by increased assessed valuations or sales tax. It's still a primary driver of sales tax revenue. And so between those and other myriad forms of opportunities to raise money, whether it's things like employment opportunity tax or meter tax, things of that nature. All of it comes together to really create this amazing confluence of energy and revenue that really services the entire city and county of Denver. I like to say we actually produce more than we consume in Cherry Creek.
Well, and I think this says volumes about the fact that there's so much happening in Cherry Creek that it's able to produce more than you consume and make such an impact, not just in Cherry Creek, but for all of Denver. I want to segue though, Nick, because we are constantly hearing about the urban doom loop and the death of office building. Yet Cherry Creek North saw its office vacancy rate drop to 1.3%, with developers pre-leasing space at premium rents. What is the district doing differently to attract capital and employers when in this area when you have so many others who are struggling?
I think really it boils down to what developers and those people who rent from those developers would call a flight to quality. They want to be around quality tenants. They want to be around a quality experience. And when you look at the Cherry Creek experience, we really deliver on a number of different levels. First of all, it's a great place to be. It's very safe, it's beautiful. It was actually Denver's first pedestrian priority zone, and we try to protect that very carefully. So it's very walkable. And then when you look at the quality buildings that are being built, and they're not overbuilt, they're just the right size. And so they're not huge floor plates. They're just the right size for the kinds of businesses that view Cherry Creek as an attractive place. And so I think a lot of things sort of coalesce around the success that we're enjoying, but it's also one of the great mixed-use neighborhoods really in the entire country, where you have office, residential, retail, all of this working together to create a truly dynamic experience for people.
Yeah, I love that, how'd you say it, the Cherry Creek experience.
Right.
I want to unpack that another time with you perhaps more, Nick, because I think there's a lot in there that people could learn from. But there is a perception rather, that Cherry Creek is exclusively for massive global luxury brands, right? But the data tells a completely different story. 87% of your ground level retail and services are classified as small businesses, and more than half are locally owned.
Right.
How does the district balance bringing in major developments while protecting the local merchants who give the neighborhood its character?
I think that what it really boils down to, Ryan, is the fact that the developers recognize the unique characteristic that Cherry Creek is. And they want to keep those local retailers as much as they want to stay there. They're highly successful. They produce great sales, which means that they can pay higher rents. So developers want to maintain the character of the neighborhood. Certainly we've seen more national brands from a retail perspective come into the neighborhood. But when you walk the neighborhood, you find that there are a tremendous number of great local retailers. Many of them, I'd say most of them, are small business, minority, and women-owned, which is extraordinary. And I like to say there's something in Cherry Creek for everyone. It's not just about luxury. We certainly have that component. But when you look at the mix of stores that we have, there's really something for everyone. Things that are very affordable to things that are perhaps quite expensive, but and a wide range in between.
Yeah, I have to ask you, so when you think about the future of Cherry Creek, what excites you right now, Nick?
I'm excited for construction to come to an end. It's a little disruptive right now,
Right.
but I'm excited because we have this great coming together of all of these uses, like I said, retail, office, residential, all of it sort of wrapped in this great moment where it's beautiful landscape, it's very safe, it's wonderful to walk the district 11:30, 12, 1 o'clock and see the vibrancy of the district. And I think people, they respond to that energy. And because they do, they feel the desire to be there. So I get excited about every new building that opens.
Yeah.
Love to see the next new iteration of office tenants, of retail tenants, of restaurants, all the things that Cherry Creek has historically offered, only getting better.
Yeah, now you have nearly 17 million people visiting Cherry Creek every year, plus 16,000 people working there, with 8 new major construction projects underway. I can understand why you can't wait for that to come to an end. But how do you actually manage that growth? How do you mix new apartments, hotels, retail, without losing that neighborhood charm that has brought so many people here in the first place?
You know, I think the definition of charm, Ryan, is different for everybody. What you might find charming could be different than what I might find charming. What makes Cherry Creek charming, though, on a sort of a level playing field, is the pedestrian nature of the community. It's easy to walk. It feels safe. There are those sort of attributes that are not easily replicated somewhere else. And you know, you wrap that around great stores and great restaurants, that charm is still there. Now, there are some buildings that certainly have outlived their useful life, and they're being replaced, but they're also being replaced with higher quality, more beautiful buildings that are going to house great tenants, great retailers, and great office occupants.
You know what's charming to me, Nick, is a thriving business district that, by the way, I'm sure you would agree, does not happen by accident. It requires a strategic balance where small businesses, residents, and visitors all fuel each other. Cherry Creek is proving that when you get that mix right, the economic benefit ripples out to support the entire city. Nick Lemasters, thanks so much for joining me and for your insights. For the 9 News Business Buzz, I'm Ryan Frazier. Have a great week.